conversation I had with Uncle Reef that at his house, and I think that's when we went there together to see them when Peggy passed away. And Uncle Reef and I sat down and we talked, and he took out some papers and he said that he thought that, and I think it was the Fiedelmans, that they originated from Latvia. May have originated from Latvia. But, and then I think the Holmans, and I don't know which side of Sophie's family it would have been. I don't know what her mother's maiden name was, but you know.
I don't know, but I understand that she was actually born here.
Yeah, she was born. She actually was born here in the U.S. We had thought for a long time she was.
Her family had been here for a while, like in the 1850s, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Or 1860s.
Mommy?
So they, as far as our four grandparents, their family has been here the longest.
The Holmans?
The Holmans.
Okay.
Yeah. And they set up the community in Sheboygan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try to get I think maybe with this information, I might be able to get your brother to take me to Sheboygan when I'm there
on there, actually.
in hopefully September.
Please take it to Deanna.
Because
Okay.
it's not that far.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I'm going to.
Good idea. To go to Sheboygan and.
Well, he wanted me to look up a bunch of stuff, and I did start, but I don't remember
Well, I
what.
sent you that link too.
My brother wanted you to look up stuff?
Yeah, he wanted me, well, he wasn't gonna go because at that time he was driving to Wisconsin every day to take Luke for, for hockey practice. So, that,
Isaac, take that to Deanna. Deanna, will you open this bottle for Isaac? It's okay.
so he's not doing that anymore. So.
Yeah, but he'll still go. No, I bet.
So, and with now knowing that they have the
Asher,
Holman
can you go
Shul,
see what's going on over there? Holman
the
Shul?
Holman Shul in Sheboygan, I can call there and I can get a lot of information.
Yeah. And
Know
there's
where-
grave sites too. Aunt Mildred is buried there.
Yeah, Aunt Mildred, who I think you look a lot like Aunt Mildred.
That's another picture I think that was lost.
I have it.
What's she saying?
I have
And Aunt Mildred
was
was.
the oldest of the Fiedelman kids.
She died of
She
scarlet fever.
Scarlet fever.
She was a sister.
She was a sister. She was the oldest. She was 3 and she died. And then the 3 boys came. And then Aunt Rosie came with Grandpa's 3rd marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And then Auntie Lane, who was really a stepsister.
So, did you know any of your grandparents?
Just Boo Boo.
Just Boo Boo.
Just Boo-Boo.
What do you remember about Boo Boo?
Oh, I remember a lot about Boo Boo because I spent a lot of time with her. I was her favorite grandchild, not because I did anything special. I just happened to be born 2 days after her husband died and was named after him. So that just kind of earned me a special place. And then also, I spent a lot of time with her, and we would play. We would get Aunt Sissy's jewelry, and we would play jewelry shop. And I was the owner of the jewelry shop, and she would be a customer, and she would come in, and she would say, "You got a goidel?"
Shirley, I don't remember what the I don't
Yeah,
remember.
she
that
said,
one.
"You got a goidel?" And she would make chicken soup. She made, I think I remember her making her own noodles for her chicken soup. And I would spend the night in her apartment. She had a little 1-bedroom apartment. And I always had trouble sleeping because it was on Colorado Boulevard. The traffic was course, traffic was heavy at Sissy's
Yeah, I
too,
always
but
slept
I
good at Sissy and Uncle Al, so
you didn't.
I slept really good.
Oh, I always slept really good at Aunt Sissy and Uncle Al's. But so, and Boo Boo was always dressed up. I mean, I can't remember her not being. I can't remember her being an old grandmother in a robe. I remember Sissy being in a robe, but I don't remember Boo Boo ever being in a robe. She was always dressed up, and she had, when I was young, she had a Buick. So she was driving in her 60s, which of course is young, obviously. I think so now. And she was driving in her 60s. She had a red Buick with a white top. And I remember that car so well. It was really neat.
Was she blonde?
Very. I mean, very blonde.
Yeah, but I have a picture of her and Grandpa Philip when they were very young.
Mm-hmm.
You may have this copy of the same picture. Her hair was dark.
Yeah, it probably wasn't. I think they were blonde when they were young, and then she probably dyed it. And then as she got older, I think it became white, and for a long time, she colored it blonde.
Like Sissy did.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and she had blue-gray eyes, I think, like Annie. Bluish ones.
So what do
She
you
was
all?
very fair, very fair, like white. Like she was like white, and Grandma Sophie was like dark, like Grandpa, like my dad. My dad was really dark.
Mm-hmm.
What Schwartzy?
What do you want to say about Aunt Sissy and Uncle Al?
They really helped make our lives bearable. Because even though we have wonderful parents, there was so many problems, and they were the ones that gave us the really good memories, going places and doing things and feeling secure, and always knowing that because they were there, we were taken care of. We weren't going to lack anything because they were there. And my Uncle Al was like my best friend in the whole world to me. He couldn't have loved me. He made up for all the love that I wanted from my other uncles that they didn't have for me, but he gave me more love than they could have altogether, you know.
And he wasn't even blood.
Yeah, he wasn't even blood. But he was my very best friend.
But you never would have known that.
No. And I mean, and he had lots of nieces and nephews that were blood to him, and he loved them all. But he didn't love them like he loved
Dina's kids.
Dina's kids. And he loved Marlene and Floria, but I don't think he loved them like, maybe Flory, but he just didn't love them like he loved Dina's kids.
Like he took ownership.
Yeah, because Sissy was like a mother to Bammy. And so Uncle Al kind of, as her husband, became, and then he was also very close to my dad.
Oh, he was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
He loved.
they just loved each other. They just really loved each other.
What did that look like? What did that mean?
I don't.
They spent time together?
I don't remember because we lived away from them so much. And most of the time we spent with Aunt Sissy and Uncle Al was without my parents, especially without my dad. And so it wasn't something that I and then my dad died when I was so young. I was 16. So I just knew that they were very close and they cared very much about each other as brother-in-laws.
And Sissy and Bama were so close.
Very close.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very.
Bay.
Yeah. Well, they were 12 years apart. 12.
Yeah,
years apart.
Sissy raised Babby because Uncle Lionel, who was right in the middle between them, he was kind of a sickly, strange guy, and Boo Boo spent her time taking care of him.
I was gonna drink the whole thing.
Interesting, though, Uncle Lionel and Uncle Reef were best friends at one point.
And they're so different,
Yeah.
totally different. But everybody, from what I understand, everybody loved Uncle Lionel. All the women loved him. Everybody loved Uncle Lionel because of his personality.
He was sickly?
Well, he fell and broke his nose and didn't have a bone in his nose. And then I guess, I don't know, but there were pictures of him as a baby dressed like a girl.
I think he was just a mama's boy, just a big mama's boy.
I loved his nose.
Well, he'd broken it several times.
I thought it was so cool looking.
Well, he didn't have a bone in it.
The neatest story about Uncle Lionel is he was playing poker, and I guess they were playing Joker's Wild or something, and he got 5 aces. And it was a big game, a big pot game, and somebody was standing behind him and said, "Oh my God, look what he got." And everybody folded, and he didn't win anything.
How wrong. How wrong.
I didn't know that.
So Bammy used to talk to me about the Jewish ghetto, how she loved growing up in the Jewish ghetto.
On the west side of town. West side of Denver was all the Jewish ghetto.
Do you all remember any of her stories?
Well, I know that she was, I guess this was on the west side. I know that she moved from the west side to the east side because Grandpa Philip was in the oil business and had coal trucks and stuff. So he would actually, when everybody was having a hard time, he actually didn't do too badly. But I know that
What year would this have been?
Mom was still young, so it would have been in the 30s.
Okay.
So
During the Depression.
they moved to the east side, and she wasn't as happy on the east side. But I know that she grew up next to the Handlers at one point, who were the founders of Mattel, and
The Barbie doll.
the Barbie doll and all that. And I also know that she said that before Aunt Sissy got married, she, Uncle Lionel, and Sissy shared.
Pick it up, baby. Pick it up. It's okay. Don't worry. We'll get it up. Asher, would you mind helping? I'm sorry. A towel or something?
Yeah, you're gonna have to get a wet towel.
Or do I need to stop?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Shared
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Hold on.
shared a bedroom.
Yeah, just get
Are you still filming?
Get a towel.
Yeah, but hold
and then
on a
I'll
second.
take care of it. I'll take care of it, baby.
Okay, go ahead. So, who shared a bedroom?
They shared a bed.
Lionel
Three of
and
them.
Bama.
Lionel, Bama, and Sissy.
Uh-huh.
They shared a bed, and even though they did okay, they still lived in a small house, and she said that was the happiest times of her life. And she talked about going ice skating and
Horseback riding.
horseback riding, ice skating at Sloan's Lake. She talked about going to dances and stuff at Elitch Gardens, and
Did she tell you about the time she was at Elitch Gardens with a date? And they came, she was dancing with her date, and somebody from Elitch Gardens came up to them and said that they couldn't dance there because they didn't accept mixed couples because they thought Bammy was black.
because she had this.
Because she had such, even though it wasn't really all that dark, she has this thick, frizzy hair, and her nose, the way her nose was, and her full lips.
Even though she had light eyes.
Huh?
I know my mom keeps